local news, local weather, and local sports. On your side. Channel 2 News at 6 starts now.
God of compassion and mercy, whose Son was sent not to be served but to serve.
And tonight, King Charles III and his wife Queen Camilla have been crowned. It comes nearly 8 months after the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Thanks for joining us for a special streaming edition of Channel 2 News at 6. I'm Claudine Ewing. Seeing the coronation live and in person is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and that's just what 2 Western New Yorkers got to do this weekend. 2 on Your Side's Danielle Church joins us now with that story. Danielle.
Yeah, Claudine, it truly is a ceremony that only so many will ever be able to say they attended. Just part of the reason the Thines, a couple from Lockport, booked their trip for London as soon as the coronation date was announced. And get this, Tamara and Vinny Thine have only ever been to London twice. The first time they just left a day before Queen Elizabeth II died back in September, the second just for today. The couple arrived in London last night and are leaving tomorrow. Tamara and Vinny say the whole town is electric. They've seen people camp out just to save their spots to watch the big day and heard millions chanting "God Save the King" as King Charles III and Queen Camilla made history at Westminster Abbey. This was the first time in 70 years there's been a king or queen's coronation in the UK. That's how long Queen Elizabeth II ruled for.
No, they came by, and we saw them 2.5 hours later when they came back. Roar from the crowd was really unbelievable.
Yeah, it was like a rock concert.
Yeah.
They had big screens, the flags, people were just screaming, God save the king.
The coronation was also the largest military ceremonial operation in 70 years. More than 6,000 members of the UK's armed forces were there. It was also the 40th coronation at Westminster Abbey, dating back to 1066. We'll hear much more from the Thines coming up tonight at 11. In the newsroom, Danielle Church, Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Danielle. A crime alert to pass along tonight. Buffalo police are looking for the person responsible for an overnight shooting near Eggard Road and Kensington Avenue. 2 women, ages 35 and 37, were shot while sitting inside of a vehicle. They are both in stable condition. Anyone with information should call or text the Buffalo Police confidential tip line. Meanwhile, in Clarence Center, no one was hurt after a lawnmower caught on fire inside of an attached garage. Firefighters responded to the scene just 3 minutes before the resident, 3 minutes after the resident called 911, but it had already spread to the house. Damage is about $350,000, according to investigators. The Erie County Sheriff's Office and Clarence Building Inspector are both looking into this case. The weather is just right for riding your motorcycle today. May is Motorcycle Awareness Month, and today officials kicked off motorcycle safety and awareness for the riding season. American bikers aim toward education, want all drivers to be aware of motorcyclists on the road. They say be alert and don't be distracted because it can lead to accidents.
When you're on a motorcycle, you're sitting up a little higher than a car, and when you see, and you can pass cars, you can see so many people are on their phones, and that's bad.
I can assure you that the Erie County Sheriff's Office has zero tolerance for drivers who threaten the safety of all riders as a result of the reckless, distracted, and imprudent operation of a motor vehicle.
And the message today was look twice and save a life. In other news, Governor Kathy Hochul was in Manhattan today to deliver remarks at the USS Cooperstown commissioning ceremony. The ship is docked on the Hudson River right now. She said today is a time to reflect on what unites us, like patriotism, duty, and service, instead of what divides us.
And in that sense, I know that truly this country will endure when we have patriots like those who are going to be boarding this ship, heading to Norfolk, heading to Florida, and someday perhaps heading into harm's way. So our love goes with them. You may call yourself America's away team, but to all of you, you'll always be in our hearts America's hometown team, starting right here in the great state of New York. Thank you for the honor of addressing.
Governor Hochul also took time during today's ceremony to recognize the generations of Americans who have stepped up to serve. And tonight, we are celebrating Western New York, and the Buffalo Public School students picked to work with the Jacobs School of Medicine for a special program. It uses drone flight simulation to learn about surgical training. Students got a chance to test out their hand and eye coordination, suturing skills, and other team-building exercises.
We're here to inspire kids who may never have thought that they could go into healthcare professions, doctors, nurses, advanced practice providers, dietitians, you name it. But we're here to inspire them, to make them believe that they can be part of a healthcare team.
It's really good, and 10 students were chosen from 5 schools for this annual program they may have otherwise not had access to. And we're also celebrating the release of a brand new beer that will benefit Art Park. A release party for Art Ale Beer was held at Resurgence Brewing Company today. Organizers telling Two on Your Side the new brew is a limited release, only available this summer.
Promoting arts comes in very different ways. We learn about what arts do and how arts contribute to the community and to our lives. So any various opportunities, I think, are welcome. It's very important to be creative like that.
$1 for every pint sold, along with $2 for every 4-pack, will go toward Art Park's nonprofit work. And we've got a very busy day in sports.
The Kentucky Derby has been underway and live on NBC and Channel 2 since noon. We'll get to show you some familiar faces who made it out to the race, as well as which horse just might shock the world, coming tonight at 11. Plus, the #1 seeded Buffalo Bandits are back at it tonight for the quarterfinal round of playoffs against the Rochester Nighthawks. These two teams had a tied series during the regular season and will fight this winner-take-all matchup over in Banditland at 7 o'clock tonight. The winner will then advance to the NLL East Conference Finals against Toronto. And finally, the Rochester Amerks have bounced back from a 2-0 series deficit and are ready for a crucial Game 5 against the Syracuse Crunch tonight at 7 o'clock in the North Division semifinals of the Calder Cup playoffs. Again, we'll have you covered on all that and more tonight at 11. I'm Lindsay Mopper. Claudine, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Lindsay, thank you. And thank you all for joining us for this special streaming edition of Channel 2 News at 6. We'll see you back here on air at 11 o'clock.
Well, it has been a fantastic day across Western New York. It has been so comfortable, and now we are really expecting things to just kind of hold steady in this kind of really comfortable pattern. That's why it's the key word here, that we have mostly dry conditions over the next 7 days. There is a little blip in the forecast, but it's not going to last very long. All in all, it's finally feeling like spring across Western New York, and Saturday was a perfect example of what spring should be. Not like what we had earlier this week when we had so much rain and those temperatures in the 40s, the raw wind. It was really not all that wonderful. But here's kind of the condensed version of the forecast. So we have a chance for some afternoon and evening showers as we head towards Sunday. It will start to dry out as we head towards next week, and you'll really notice it once we get past about Monday, and things just look fantastic. This is encouraging you to stick around for that 7-day forecast. Temperatures will be coasting to above average levels. Definitely want to make sure you check out what's on the way. So as we show you the upper air pattern, this is just kind of a slice of the atmosphere. And we're really looking at the jet stream when we show you this and what's on the way. So we're in a really warm pattern. It's actually quite hot down towards Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi. But this warm air, this ridge of high pressure will just kind of park itself over us for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as well. So we're not seeing any big changes, and all of that cool air has made its way further northeast. So it's kind of out of our hair at this point, and we're expecting a really nice stretch across the region. So in terms of temperatures over the next 48 hours, really we're expecting a very mild evening, not even that bad in the southern tier for Sunday in the early morning hours. We're talking about overnight lows still in the low 40s, not bad by the lake. We're talking about the upper 40s to near 50 during the overnight. As we take you into early Sunday morning, we're already into the 50s across much of the region. A little bit of a cooler start, but It's not too bad, all things considered. By about 10:30, we're already in the upper 50s to low 60s. By the afternoon, look at that. Many areas are getting up into the mid 60s. Some areas could get just a touch warmer than that. I would say lots of areas could flirt with 67, 68 degrees for a high. And then we take you to 5 o'clock on Sunday. Now, this is when we could have some of those rain showers starting to move through. They're going to work their way through. It is not a complete washout, but most of the day is dry. Then this is when we'll see some of that rain-cooled air. Notice it is warmer here. That rain not as prevalent in Chautauqua County. It will work its way through. I would say the core of it is right here from Niagara, Orleans, Genesee, Erie, and Wyoming counties. And notice some of that cooler air sinking in. Not as cool for the southern tier. So it's a lot of just kind of placing where those showers will be and what the impact will be in terms of that rain-cooled air. But by Monday morning, again, still very mild to start the day. And then this is where things really start to jump in terms of temperatures. Not bad as we head towards the lunch hour on Monday. Everybody gets into the mid to upper 60s as we head into Monday afternoon. A little cooler lakeside because of that wind that's coming right off of Lake Erie, light and variable, but we're talking about the low 60s for Erie, Pennsylvania, up towards the state line and towards Ripley, Westfield, and Dunkirk. And then I would say most areas get into the upper 60s on Monday, and even some 70s popping up for areas away from the water down towards Bradford. If you're in Allegheny, Limestone, Alfred, you could get into that kind of range there. So we're watching that. And then as we go towards Monday night, nice and comfortable. Hopefully you can break out the patio furniture and just set it up and leave it there, because we're not expecting any cooler weather that's really going to chill things across the region. And then by Tuesday night, it's refreshing and not all that bad. So that's what we have on the way in terms of temperatures. Now, for precipitation, this is what we want to show you. Now, this was kind of a new development when we were tracking this on Friday. Kevin O'Neill was tracking it last night. It was working its way through, and it's cloudy as we start our day on Sunday. There will be a little less sunshine than today. I would say the clouds are really going to dominate. There could be an early sprinkle, but really what we're tracking would be some of that rain that's going to just kind of slide on through as we head towards the afternoon hours, and it just kind of grazes on by. It's not, again, a absolute soaking across western New York, but I would say the window for showers really is around noon until about 5 o'clock, and then it will race out of here. Some more showers popping through during the overnight, but then as this clears early Monday morning, it will finally leave, and then we get into more sunshine. Notice the breaks in the clouds as we go towards Monday morning. It'll warm up in the areas up towards Niagara and Orleans County first, and then we're just kind of in and out of the sun on Monday. But then as we take you to Tuesday, notice this is trying to work in some showers. This system has been nudged further south, so it actually is just working its way and kind of staying out of our region. So that's the good news there, that we're not really dealing with as much in terms of precipitation for Tuesday. That potential has kind of fizzled out. So we were watching this. We were actually expecting rain on Tuesday. That is no longer the case. But as we take you to Wednesday, notice it's beautiful sunshine, bright conditions, and we're not expecting anything to really kind of work its way in on Thursday either. It's mainly sunny and beautiful. A few high thin clouds at that point. And as we take you to Friday, maybe a few more clouds here, but still mostly sunny conditions across the region. And there could be an isolated shower, but it's really well east towards Rochester that could get some of that on Friday. Nothing really for us. Saturday looks calm as well. And then the clouds come in and we could squeeze out a shower or two on Mother's Day at this point, but we're looking so far ahead in advance at this point. It really is not what we like to prognosticate at this time. So your 7-day forecast looks like this. We'll have some afternoon and evening rain showers. I would say that most areas will get some, but we're talking about hundredths of an inch. And when we're talking about that, it's like that much. So it's not really going to be all that impactful. But for Sunday and Monday, we're definitely talking about some cooler temperatures as we get towards the lake. But it's warmer for areas away from it. So that's why Niagara and Orleans counties will get up to 68 degrees. Buffalo tucked in away from the water towards 69. Tuesday, a little cooler for areas in the Buffalo zone. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday looks great as we head into the low 70s. This is wonderful weather across western New York. And we take you to the south towns in the southern tier again. We have rain on the way for Sunday. Some of it could last into very early Monday, but the potential for that is really fading as this line kind of races on through. So we take you to Monday. Notice that temperatures very comfortable. Tuesday, just a shade cooler there as well. Wednesday and Thursday, really nice conditions. No precipitation expected. Friday, Saturday, wow, just a really nice stretch of weather. And this is essentially cruise control as we go into a very, very nice stretch across western New York. Thanks for tuning in for an extended look at your forecast.